Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Okay, picture this with me for a second. It is genuinely properly freezing outside. I'm not talking about, I need a light jacket weather. I'm talking about that biting cold. It seemed to ignore your coat and go straight to your bones. You've been out in it, maybe scraping ice off the car that's like thicker than the glass. Or you're at one of those outdoor holiday markets, trying to look festive while you can't really feel your toes anymore. You're shivering. And then someone, a friend, the hero of the night, hands you a glass. It could be a hot toddy, maybe some mulled wine, or just a straight up whiskey. And they say those magic words, here, this will warm you up. Liquid warmth. It's an idea as old as time, right? And it feels true. You take a sip and bam, you feel that flush in your cheeks. The shivering kind of stops. You feel cozy. You feel safe. And I really hate to be the guy to ruin this moment. We have to talk about what's actually going on there, because that feeling of warmth, physiologically speaking, it's a lie. It's a trick. And it's a trick that comes with a pretty steep bill the next morning. So welcome to the show. I'm Mike Hardenbrook. Today, I've been digging through a pile of research on cardiovascular health, on how we regulate our temperature and how our bodies respond to alcohol. And my goal here is to get into a really specific and honestly, an almost invisible risk. It's what happens at the intersection of extreme cold and alcohol. You think about them separately, the cold, the drinking. But when you mix them, you're not just getting a little tipsy. You are creating this unique, high-stakes stress test for your heart and your blood vessels. And look, my goal is not to be a killjoy. I'm not going to tell you to never have that mulled wine. I'm just saying you need to understand the plumbing. Because once you get how the system works, you can make smarter choices. So you don't wake up feeling like your heart ran a marathon while you're asleep. Which, spoiler alert, is pretty much exactly what's happening. So we're going to look at what the cold does to your body first. Then how alcohol just throws a wrench in the whole thing. The sleep connection, which is huge. And then finally, what you can actually do about it. All right, so let's start with the cold itself. Before we even pour the drink, what is happening to your body when you step out into that freezing air? Your body has one and only one top priority in the winter. Protect the core, your heart, your lungs, your liver, all your vital organs. They have to stay at a very specific temperature. If that core temp drops even a little bit, things just stop working. It's that serious. So your body goes into this immediate defensive mode. It's called vasoconstriction. Sounds technical, I know, but the idea is actually really simple. Your body constricts. It literally narrows the blood vessels in your extremities. So your skin, your fingers, your toes. It's basically shutting down blood flow to the outer layers to keep all that warm blood right in the center, protecting the important stuff. But think about the physics of that for a minute. You've got the same amount of blood, but now the pipes, your arteries, they're much, much narrower. What happens when you squeeze a hose? Well, pressure goes up. It's the same thing here, and it's well documented. Study after study shows that our blood pressure is naturally higher in the winter than in the summer. So just by existing in the cold, your system is already under tension. It's tight. Your heart is already working harder. That's your baseline in winter. Okay, now let's have the alcohol. So you've got this tight, tense, constricted system, and you take a drink. What happens next is kind of like a 3-step roller coaster for your heart. Step 1 is what I call the deception. Alcohol is a vasodilator. It does the exact opposite of the cold. It basically paralyzes the little muscles in your vessel walls, and it forces them to open up wide. Blood rushes from your protected core right out to your skin. And that's the rush of warmth you feel. That's why your cheeks get red, and you suddenly think, hey, I don't even need this scarf. But that leads us straight to step 2, the heat dump. And yeah, that's exactly as bad as it sounds. You're not making new heat, you're just moving it. You're taking all that precious warmth from around your vital organs and pumping it to the surface, where it just radiates away into the freezing air. You feel warmer, subjectively, but objectively. Your core body temperature is dropping fast. In extreme cases, this is why drinking is such a huge risk factor for hypothermia. You've turned off your body's main defense system. But okay, most of us aren't stuck on a mountain. What's the problem for the average person just having a drink on a cold night? That brings us to step 3, the rebound effect. And this right here is the part everyone misses. That opening up of the blood vessels from alcohol. It's temporary. As your body processes the alcohol, the system doesn't just go back to normal. Oh no, it overcorrects. The pendulum swings back hard. You get rebound constriction. your blood vessels clamp down again, and often they clamp down even tighter than they were before. And this usually happens a few hours after you stop drinking, right when you're probably asleep. So your blood pressure just spikes. Your heart has to start pumping like crazy to push blood through those tightened vessels. You're creating this huge volatility, a massive swing from relaxed to super stressed really, really fast. And the craziest part of all this is that it's happening while you feel relaxed. You could be on the couch watching a movie feeling totally chill, but inside, biologically, your fight or flight system is on high alert. Your veins are in a panic. Your heart is running a marathon. And this disconnect is what's so sneaky. You don't feel the stress, so maybe you have another drink, which just starts the whole cycle over again. Dilation, heat dump, and then an even bigger rebound. It's the perfect storm for your heart. And then on top of all that, we have to talk about sleep, because we all know the idea of a nightcap, right? Something to help you drift off. But the science is crystal clear on this one. It's a myth. Alcohol is a sedative. It will knock you out, sure, it helps you fall asleep, but it absolutely wrecks the quality, the architecture of your sleep. Specifically, it crushes your deep sleep and your REM sleep. And why does that matter for your heart? Because deep sleep is the only time your cardiovascular system gets to rest. Your blood pressure is supposed to drop at night. It's called nocturnal dipping. It's like a reset button. Alcohol stops that from happening. Your blood pressure stays high all night. And when you don't get that deep restorative sleep, your body panics a little. It pumps out cortisol, the stress hormone. And what does cortisol do? It raises your blood pressure even more. You see the loop. It's a vicious cycle. The cold, the alcohol rebound, the bad sleep, the cortisol. You wake up and your whole system is just inflamed and exhausted. Okay, that all sounds pretty bleak, I know. So who really needs to pay attention to this? Well, obviously anyone with high blood pressure already, but really the research points to anyone over 35. And hey, I feel that one too. Why 35? It's just biology. Our blood vessels get a little stiffer as we age. It's less bouncy. They don't handle that rapid snap back from the rebound effect quite as well. And if you're someone who already notices your heart racing a bit after drinking, or you wake up wide awake at 3 a.m., that's the mechanism. That 3 a.m. wake-up call is your body being flooded with adrenaline and cortisol as the alcohol wears off. It's an alarm bell. All right, let's pivot. Let's talk solutions. How do we support the system if we are going to have that drink? Because let's be honest, sometimes we are. It's all about mitigation. You can't change the physics, but you can give your body some buffers. First up, nutritional support. There are two things that really stand out here: vitamin B1 and a compound called NAC. Let's start with B1, or thiamine. The research suggests looking for a version called Benfotiamine. It absorbs better. See, alcohol is a thief. It robs your body of thiamine. And thiamine is critical for your heart's electrical system. It's the spark plug. So supplementing with B1 is like making sure the engine can still fire properly, even with all the interference. Okay, so that's the electrical system. What about NAC? NAC is the precursor to glutathione. And glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's the cleanup crew. When your body breaks down alcohol, it creates this toxic stuff called acetaldehyde. That's what gives you a hangover. NAC helps your body make more glutathione to go in and mop up all that toxic mess, protecting your blood vessels from damage. So B1 for the spark plugs, NAC for the cleanup crew. That's the chemistry. What about behavior? What's the game plan for the night? Rule number one, and it's the most important: food first. Specifically protein and healthy fats. Eating a solid meal before you drink slows everything down. It means the alcohol hits your bloodstream much more gradually. You flatten the curve, a gentler slope instead of a massive spiking crash. Also, watch out for the high sodium trap. Winter drinking food is always salty, right? Chips, cured meats, salt makes you retain water, which increases blood volume. More volume in the same pipes equals more pressure. It's just another thing pressurizing the system. And hydration, it sounds so basic, I know. Drink water. But winter air is dry. Alcohol dehydrates you. Dehydration makes your blood thicker and harder to pump, so a glass of water for every alcoholic drink. It's the simplest, most effective thing you can do. And finally, a mindset shift. This was the big one for me. Stop using alcohol to get warm. If you're cold, put on a sweater, move around, do some jumping jacks. That creates real, sustainable internal heat. Alcohol warmth is borrowed heat. You're borrowing it from your future self, and the interest rates are brutal. So let's just tie this all together. The key takeaway isn't never drink in the winter. It's just awareness. Understand that winter is already a strain on your heart, and alcohol complicates it. It doesn't soothe it. But now you know how to support the system. You can take the B1 and NAC. You can eat first. You can hydrate. You can enjoy the season without letting it beat you up from the inside. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. We pour that drink at the end of a long, cold day to relax, to unwind. And maybe, mentally, that feels true for a moment. But biologically, for your body, you're actually inducing a state of panic in your own veins. So is that glass of wine worth the internal crisis your heart has to manage while you're trying to sleep? Sometimes, maybe the answer is yes. But at least now, you know the true cost of the ticket, and you know how to handle it a little better. Stay warm out there. Stay smart. If I'm Mike Hardenbrook, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor. Leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.